Hey everybody, Joe Bumbleacres here. Hope you all are doing well. It's Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. And we are doing well on the homestead. It's been a kind of a busy day with work and tackling some projects around the house. Spent some of the day chasing ducks. My wife said she wished she had the camera to watch me chase ducks around because we had put our runner ducks into our garden hoping that they would eat the bugs. And they did. They did. Wow. Just watching my chickens interact with each other and their guineas is kind of interesting. But we had we'd put the runner ducks in there, and they were sadly they decimated some of the early garden planting that we had done. So it was an experiment to see if they would be feasible as a garden source for bug control, but they were not. So we moved them from the garden enclosures that we had just by the pond next to our other Peking ducks. So they are, I would normally come over there and show it, but I'm trying to give them a break and give them a chance to get acclimated to that space. Plus, as you all, I've been working on kind of carpentry and building skills, and behind me is some of the things that I have built. There's just a random chair on wheel or desk on wheels, a little mobile workbench, and then today decided this is prototype for the shelvings, the shelves that I'm going to try to go around the perimeter of my garage. So you'll see behind me there's the small original workbench that was here when we bought it. And I'm going to try to work it around the corner and go up the back. And this was my first attempt at building something sturdy enough to do so. And a couple lessons. 4 feet doesn't, like, I'm 5'6", but I didn't think 4 feet was this tall. So like my top shelf is decent height to say the least. So lesson, 40 inches was a little much. So, 4 feet was a little tall. So if you're gonna get an idea, this is 4 feet tall, and it's a little taller than I expected. But it does leave me enough room here where I'm actually gonna put a second shelving area in, and I will have a 3-ring, and I may just follow that template around just for uniformity. But like I said, the biggest issue, this is true on everybody, it's like the American phenomena, but it's definitely true of homesteaders, is we're always accumulating stuff. Sometimes because while we try not to do one-use items, the big thing we run into is we use stuff a couple times a year. For example, our butchering equipment is something that's very important, but we only use a couple times a year. We don't butcher all the time. So we have to have more storage and an organized way of doing storage, and that is what I'm attempting to do now, is implement an around the system, around the garage storage area, to just allow us more storage. In homesteading, you're going to accumulate, like, we already accumulate stuff. And one of the things, like when people talk about going from their former lives into their homesteading lives, they always talk about like they had to give up a lot of stuff, and that's normal because you can't afford to live the way that you did before. But the other reality is you accumulate so much stuff you only use once or twice, or you get a good deal on something that you really know you're probably going to use eventually, and it's worth the price, because when you have to buy it, it'll be so much more expensive. So inevitably you wind up accumulating stuff ahead of schedule. The irony of thinking you have a schedule implies your plan will be solid, which it won't be, but that's just okay. You do the best plan you can and realize a lot of the timing is going to work out independent of your plan. But that is the tour of, I spent, after I got off work, spent a couple hours putting this frame together. Tomorrow, or the next couple of days, I'll go on and complete the shelves for it, put it in its traditional space where it needs to go, which once again is over there. And I'll do a video of that point. We're gonna try to do a yard sale this weekend and get rid of some of this excess stuff that we need to get rid of. But between the shelving units, and I've got to make an organizer for my lumber and spare lumber, you know, it's busy but good. So hope y'all are doing well. I'm gonna go help my wife and get some food to eat. For all those, this is my wedding ring. We've had an issue with, you know, it's so much rain and working out in the rain, it's actually causing issues for my skin. So my wife thinks it's a goofy look. She likes it, but says it's still funny that I have this big golden chain with a wedding ring hanging around it. But it's the only way that my finger will recover and not look like I've got the plague. So anyway, hope you all are doing well. Hope this message finds you happy and healthy. Joe with Bumble Acres signing off. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will talk about some of these things that I'm doing later in the future. If you're inspired about getting into woodworking, or as a homesteader, you're going to do so much kind of building as you come along. Like, I need to build a smoker before I can butcher my animals. I need to build a butchering place before I can do, like, so many things that need to be done. And I'm going to build them in order to save money and show that I can. So hope you all are doing well. Hope this finds you happy and healthy. Joe with Bumble Acres signing off. Bye.